You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And it's Tech Thursday in the new year. And coming up next week, Tuesday, January 7th through Friday, January 10th, 2025 is CES, which is going to be in Las Vegas. And who better to talk to about it than Marsha Collier? First, Happy New Year. Great to see you. Look well.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It feels like it's
a year or so.
Right, forever. But yeah, the holidays were great. Obviously, my New Year's Eve was nothing like yours.
Well, that goes to my wife.
Yeah,
she plans everything.
Bravo, Mrs. O'Kelly. You did a good job. Excellent social director. But ours was a little quieter. And, you know, I was building up CES. That's where I usually do my 8,000 steps once a year.
Oh, yeah, you're going to get your steps in.
So, yeah, that'll be next week. We're leaving Monday. Oh, see, I'm telling, and that's going to lead into what I'm about to tell you.
Oh.
You were saying it was a different world.
Yes.
Everything has changed. It's no longer kids can go out and play on their bicycles and come back in when the lights come on, right? I mean, that's
what I grew up. Yes.
Right. That's it. Now everybody's more cautious. And as each day goes by, weirder things are happening. You have to have your head almost on a swivel all the time.
Absolutely.
So, did you post on New Year's Eve?
I posted a few things.
But it was clear you weren't home.
Yes. Yes, but I try to be judicious. And for those who don't know, there's always someone at my house.
Same with my house.
Yeah.
When we are at CES, we have we pay a house sitter to be
right.
there.
We have people floating through our house all the time.
Yeah, so that's the thing. But not everybody thinks about that. And that's something that's really important. So if you're not going to, let me give you a couple of tips because we need to keep our homes secure. First of all, when I hear of all these celebrities whose houses are Keanu Reeves and his watch collection.
Yes.
What the hey? Does he not have an alarm system?
I don't know, but obviously people are aware of not only movie stars, but athletes, their schedule when they're performing, right, when they're playing, when their house is uninhabited, and their security system clearly is not enough because they're getting burglarized consistently. I
mean, if I had that kind of money, I would definitely have private security to answer to an alarm.
Well, most of these individuals usually live in gated communities with active security at all times.
Yeah, well, it ain't doing no good, is it?
No, it's not.
Not doing any good. So here are some things you can do. First of all, put up a security system yard sign. Okay? You can't use a company that you don't use. In other words, that's illegal to put up an ADT sign, let's say, if you don't have ADT security. But you can go on eBay, buy used ones from other people, and, whatever you do.
Like a scarecrow.
Yeah, exactly. Because surprisingly, if it's obvious that you have a security system, it will deter enough to deter 83% of burglars. 83%.
Most of them are amateurs, that's why.
That's right. I mean, the pros are not coming, no offense, not to my house. I don't know about your house, but the pros are not coming to my house. Have motion detection lights outside. That's real important. Not only do I have motion detection lights, but we have an emergency light system that when the house was rebuilt after the earthquake, I had put in. And we have switches in every room that if you feel a threat, you
panic buttons.
Well, you flip a switch and these freaking old-fashioned, looks like vapor lights go on all around the house. The house lights up like a prison yard. So that's enough to scare somebody. Have things to surprise people who may not be doing anything yet. You may
Could be just casing the joint.
Exactly. And just realize, I know we're really excited about having cameras at our doors. And that's nice because you can see who's at your door. But the police, don't really care. We had a break-in on the side of our house. We've got video, officer. We've got video. We've got her on tape. Yeah, and it just posted on the police report. So it's like...
So you have a memento of being broken into.
I do. You get a memento, and that is useful. Thank you for showing the good part of that, Mo. I appreciate that. So the video doorbell is good because just last night, our neighbor called us today and said last night somebody was at her house at 3:30 in the morning knocking on the door. Did we have video of her house? And one of our security cameras did pick it up. Which, again, it's a nice memento, but you can't do anything with a picture of a person. And what can I say? It's not enough. My husband has hooked up motion-sensitive, audible alarms around our house in different places. For example, sometimes I leave my car outside. I admit it. And you shouldn't do that because people are going to steal your catalytic converter. Right. But I do it sometimes. But if you get near my car where I park, all of a sudden you hear my husband's voice, get away from her car. Don't you mess with my wife's car. Just get away. You're on 5 cameras right now and you're going to be internet famous.
Proximity sensors.
Right. Okay. Well, which is the same as the motion sensor thing, but this is an audible one. You pre-record your message, and it'll repeat and repeat and repeat.
I've heard a few in my development. People have them near their front door, near their car, and it's like, you're now on camera, or something's like, please move away from the front step or something.
Yeah, know? I mean, that would... makes somebody nervous, I would think.
I think it at least at the minimum lets people know that you take a modicum of seriousness with your security.
Oh,
and you're not just going to walk in the house.
Absolutely. And if you leave the house and you're posting on social media, or if you just leave the house, whether it be for a few hours or a few days, put on your lights to come on and off at a certain time. Smart plugs are so cheap. Amazon was just selling Alexa smart plugs for $19.99 for a bunch of them. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Real easy. You time to come on, go off whenever.
And you do
like Christmas lights.
You do it with your app, and that makes it look like someone's home. We have an old intercom in the house that has an actual radio, and I put it on 103.5, so it sounds like we're listening to music. Yeah, da 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 da. So, yeah, it's between that and the lights. You never know if one is home or not. Now, if you can have an active monitoring service, that will make a difference. I know we like landline, but cellular backup is good. And a dog is not, the sound of a dog, it's great. It scares a lot of people. But also, when a dog attacks a trespasser, they can sue you.
After they jump into your backyard.
Exactly. Some states have liability laws that encourage these lawsuits.
So Castle Doctrine does not include the dog in the backyard?
No.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so put up the signs, have somebody in your house, have your mail being picked up, don't leave packages out front. I know it sounds like old info, but you have to do it all.
When we come back, we started off this segment talking about how you were getting ready to go to CES. I suspect that you have some potential products that are going to be featured, or there are going to be some themes about what's going to be the hot item or items at CES, right?
Sure.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly on this Tech Thursday as I'm joined by Marsha Collier in the new year in studio as she prepares to go to CES. Marsha, what's the thing at CES? What are people trying to push? What's the new products? What are they going to be like?
Oh, gosh, just name it. I get over easily 300 emails a day from PR people trying to pitch products, pitch interviews, pitch private demos. Like who would have time when you're talking about thousands of exhibitors? It's just insane because there's a limited amount of time and I just don't book anything. If you can't talk to me, you can't talk to me. when I'm there.
When you say CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, it seems now, correct me if I'm wrong, it's less about electronics and more about IoT, the Internet of Things, where everything is about Internet and gadgetry.
Well, it always kind of was. It's always about the next big thing, like 5G. I mean, that was all over it for years. I mean, it's like, okay, so 5G, okay. I mean, now it's AI. My goodness, people have drunk the Kool-Aid on AI. It's unbelievable. I got pitched for an AI spice dispenser.
What does it do? Sprinkle salt on your food?
Well, it has 6 different spices. You know, it's quite amazing. It's like,
we are a lazy species, I tell you.
No, there'll probably be 20,000 products shown or pitched, and maybe 300 will ever make it to market of all the products.
How many do you think you will actually put hands on?
I will probably put hands on a a little bit more than that. I go to certain places where I know the actual products are going to be there. And it's not, come here and interview our CEO.
So he can tell you about, or
right.
she can tell you about this.
I don't want to be told. I want to look at your product. I want to see if it works. I want to see if people are going to benefit from it. If not, see you next year. So that's about it. And I've been going for, over 20 years now. So yeah, I know where to go and I know who to see. And I just don't spend a lot of time in the private demonstrations because I can pick things up pretty fast. Hand me a white paper and show me your product and I'm done.
I know when I go to Comic-Con, there's a good day for this or a good day for that. Is CES set up that way where if you get there the first day, maybe not so great. The last day is when everything is happening.
Not really. The problem is geography. The Venetian Hotel has that huge expo area, and a lot of stuff is going on there that I would like to go to. But I know if I go to a place like that, it's going to be a time sink and eat up all my energy for the day. When I know at 7 p.m. I have an event that I have to be at where I'm going to see at least 50 products that are going to be interesting.
The problem with Comic-Con is there's a lot of overlap. You can't get to everything. There's too much.
You can't.
CES similarly.
Yeah, exactly the same. And so many people will be coming in to Las Vegas for CES. And I just wanted to tell you, there's new travel requirements in 2025.
I know that they have like Real ID here.
Yeah, that Real ID. Think about it. First of all, don't put your Real ID into your Google Wallet, your Apple Wallet. Why? Because you have to hand over your phone to the police officer or whomever. You hand over an unlocked phone to anybody, and they have the right to go through your phone. And if they're a peace officer, if they find anything illegal, you could get arrested. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about why maybe you don't need a good Real ID. Do you have a passport?
Yes, I do.
And do you have a passport card?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then I'm holding up. Mo can see it. My little passport card. It is so cute. It's got several pictures of me on it. It's like Real ID. It's got a hologram and everything. This costs $30 when you get a passport, or you can go online and get one at any time, and they'll make it for you. The thing is, it's good for 10 years, unlike a lot of things in life. And it doesn't have your address on it. So if you need ID to go into a bar, or you need an ID to go into a nuclear facility, here you go. You just hand them this. It is the card itself is not good for international travel. It is only good for TSA within the United States and Canada and Mexico. So for $30, you've got a secure little card that proves that you are indeed real and from the USA. So that's important. Now, if you go to the UK, this pissed me off.
And you go rather frequently, I would say, right?
Sometimes twice a year, yeah.
Okay.
Because my family lives there. Now, you have to have an electronic travel authorization, which is called the ETA program. And that impacts going to the UK as well as Europe.
This is for all entry, be it vacation, be it visa working.
You can't get in without this. So starting January 8th, we're talking next week, ETA registration will be required by inbound travelers so that UK authorities can screen visitors before arrival. Obviously, it was modeled over the U.S. Travel Authorization ESTA system in an effort to reduce potential security. Wow, that's worked for us, hasn't it, at the border?
Well, they're not flying in large part.
Well, I don't know. The thing I'm reading here just says, make border entry more efficient. I don't know. That's what they say. Okay, so the ETA costs $13. It is not a visa, does not replace visa requirements, like if you want to work over there or something like that. If you're going to the UK on or after January 8th, and you got to do this now, you have to apply through the UK government's official website or use the ETA app. I haven't.
Does it say how long the process takes? Let's say I've already got a trip which is planned for February, and I'm now hearing about this for the first time.
I'd hop on it. It's good for a 2-year period, but first thing I'd download is the ETA app.
Okay.
And see what that involves. Because, I don't know, maybe you'll be able to put in some other ID, something else, to prove that you're actually you. I don't know. U.S. passport holders who previously traveled to Europe without a visa will now need to apply for authorization through a different program, the European Union European Travel Information and Authorization System.
Means you.
It means everybody.
Yeah, but you'll probably go before anyone else.
No, I won't go to the EU. I just go to the UK.
Okay.
It's just now, especially with all these visa things, really.
And I'm an avid cruiser, so I wonder how that impacts that portion of tourism.
That's interesting because you know that the passport cards don't work for cruises.
They do not. That's why I carry my actual passport as well.
I love my actual passport, and the fact that they don't stamp it anymore just breaks my heart.
Some places do. When I went to Korea, they do stamp it. I think when I was in France, they stamped it, but it's not everywhere. That much I do know. Not everywhere.
Because it's a new passport, and I've been a bunch of places, but nobody stamped it.
I want all the credit.
I mean, I have a passport before that, man. It's got a Chinese visa. It's got this. It's got that. It's like, this is a baller of a passport. But now I just got a baby crappy passport.
I'm surprised they still even use, it just seems the paper passport is so antiquated.
But it feels so good.
It does.
It does.
But given we're talking about heightened security measures, a largely paper document would seem out of step.
This little card, the passport card, I'm telling you, just go and apply for one. It's $30. It'll give you 10 years of real ID just by getting this card.
The world keeps changing right before our eyes.
Got to stay safe, and we got to think of how our time is being wasted by the government or whomever else.
Marsha Collier, it's always great to see you. Can't wait to talk to you. I don't know if you'll be able to call in from CES next week, but we'd love to have you whenever you can.
I'd love to do that if I can.
All right.
Thanks, Mo.
You're most welcome. Happy New Year. It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Okay, put the kids away. It's that time in the show. Got to talk about some things of an adult nature. Did you know that futurist Dr. Ian Pearson has anticipated that humanity will, quote, will start to see some forms of robot sex appearing in high-income, very wealthy households, close quote. Robot sex, but it's going to be reserved for only the wealthy. And he went further. He has an 85% accuracy rate for his forecasts. He also argues that women might overtake men in the adoption of sex robots by the end of this year, as in 2025. And that does make some sense if you count like vibrators as sex robots. And did you know, Mark Runner? Did you know? Here's a fact for you to save. You can throw this out at a party. Show how smart you are. Did you know that vibrators have been around for more than a century? I did not know that they've been around like as long as the airplane.
Well, I'm sure Orville and Wright probably had one of their own that they made at home. They were creative fellows.
Yeah, they've both been around a long time. Dr. Pearson says that, but now the vibrant sex toy industry doesn't just make standalone devices, but teledildonic devices.
Wait, what?
That's the word.
That is the best new word of 2025.
Yes.
Teledildonic. Oh, my God. I love that.
That bring all the fun and functionality of computing and networks to sex, too. First conceived in 1975, teledildonics has become the technical term of art for mechanical sex toys that operate remotely.
Can they be hacked?
Well, yeah, because they're connected to the internet, I believe.
Think of what you could do to someone.
Yeah, it says they can be operated remotely via the internet or otherwise.
I mean, of what an unscrupulous hacker could do to somebody, not you personally, because you wouldn't do that.
No. By some surveys, as many as 63% of women admit, and if they admit it, 63% is probably more in actuality. But 63% of women admit they either already use or would like to use a sex toy. 40% admitting virtual reality would make sex more fun and enjoyable. Just in case you're in the market for sex bots, because everything leads back to sex when it comes to technology.
Sex always drives every single new technology.
Everything. Everything. It really does. That's not an exaggeration.
No.
The market for human-like sex bots right now can cost more than $15,000. I'd rather have a car, but some people would rather have a sex bot. Okay? Men should be put on alert because according to this, we may be replaced in the near term, at least for that function.
For that function. Okay.
Aren't we reminded of that constantly anyway, even prior to the advent of teledildonics?
I mean, yeah. We have been told many a time if you've ever been on a dating app, or I know you all are far away from dating, but, if you hear a young lady say that she would rather spend the evening perusing teledildonics, you already know. You already know. It's a new world.
Are there professors of teledildonics?
I am not sure. I wonder if it's a combination in terminology, that is, of a telephone and television and
I'm more curious about the factory and who they're hiring to quality test the teledildonics.
It's all people in white coats with specs. It's on the up and up, so to speak.
By 2025, this is according to Dr. Ian Pearson, spell it two ways in this article. Women could overtake men in the adoption of sex robots. By 2030, only 5 years away, most people will have had virtual sex. Just 5 years from now. By 2035, sex toys will be better developed and virtual reality sex will be a norm. Been waiting for that all my life. By 2050, assuming anyone is still alive who's listening right now, sex with robots will overtake sex with other humans.
Blade Runner.
Yep, there it is. 2050. Yep.
Blade Runner.
I was thinking Total Recall.
That too.
Yeah.
Because that's the virtual sex aspect of it. Yeah.
That's the
Blade
best
Runner
one.
is the robots.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I dig it.
I got a few more years to hold out. Just a few more years.
I mean, just think right now, we are just 25 years away from 2050. And I believe that this study is off. I think that some of the developments, maybe some of the things that Marsha Collier sees at CES will advance the idea that we are closer to the reality of sex bots being replaced by them. And really and truly, ladies, there have been sex bots for guys for a while now. They may not be replacing you all, but because they're a lot more expensive. But I promise you this, you're not the only ones in danger.
I have a question, and this is a genuine question, and this is for anyone in a relationship. Is sex with a sex bot or virtual reality considered cheating?
It can't be. It's almost like self-pleasuring. Is self-pleasuring cheating?
I'm just putting the question out there.
I think
You
that
know,
was
whether it's cheating or not, I don't think you want to get caught doing it.
Why, Jeffrey Toobin?
Exactly.
I'll put it this way.
No, I was going to say I think that was a Black Mirror episode.
Possibly, but it's a fundamental question. Some people believe that if it's just a vibrator, it's not cheating. But if you put a face on it, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wants a face on it.
A sex bot, in theory, would have a face.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about like a happy face on a vibrator.
Okay.
That's what I don't know. Like, that's weird. Not a happy face on the device, though. But the sex bot, yes, it should have a happy face.
Yeah, you don't just draw a face on it with a Sharpie.
That's a lot.
The minute you said vibrator with a face on it, all I thought of was the hot dog bun from Sausage Party.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
That's all I thought of.
Go ahead and give yourself a rim shot.
Oh, awesome.
Self-pleasure.
So now you got to get two.
Performance issues.
Stefan's younger than the three of us, so I feel like
1 in 5 men.
he will be at the cutting edge of all advancements in teledildonics.
I've been hoping for it.
Oh, every man has been hoping for it. Every man has been hoping for it. And I know some women are saying, not my man. Yes, your man too.
Well, just back up there. Why is that fun? I don't get it. As somebody who hopes to have sex again someday, why is that fun? Why would sex with a robot be in any way enjoyable?
Okay, I'm going to say this knowing good and well that I'm getting ready to bring my marriage to an end. I'm saying,
You remember, you've got to go home at the end of the show.
I do.
So do you.
Yeah. Sex with a robot, hypothetically speaking, would be perfect because you don't have to spend any money as far as like whining and dining.
Mm-hmm.
Past the initial robot investment.
The initial fee, you pay up front and that's it. All right. Then the use of it, like it's almost like paying for your car washes, lifetime free car washes.
Well, that raises a whole nother issue.
Okay. Well, yeah, that too. I'm quite sure there's some maintenance involved.
I mean, do you put it in the dishwasher afterward? What do you do?
You got to really
You actually do.
and scrub it.
Yeah.
You
have
do.
to
You got to
scrub
put it in
it.
there. You got to,
All the
disinfect.
orifices.
I believe from the last time I saw these things online, you can take that portion out and you can put it in the and you can scrub it and then
You
pop it back inside.
absolutely have to. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Bacteria.
Yeah.
exactly.
Germs.
Infections.
But if it's a whole robot, what do? Just like strap it to
No.
No, you can unscrew the part.
It's just the part that you use,
Yeah.
Mark. Come on.
That's revolting.
Well, don't you want
Hey,
a clean robot?
You don't want what?
You don't want.
You filthy robot owner?
Well,
So you want a dirty robot?
No, what I think you do is you strap it to the roof of your car like one of Mitt Romney's dogs and you take it through a car wash.
That's the dishwasher.
That's the equivalent of a dishwasher.
If you're gonna go through all that and have your robot on the roof of your car, you just put it in the dishwasher. No one needs to see you.
You could probably
lugging
break it
your
down.
robot around. Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
could
thinking.
probably break it down.
I mean, there is also the issue of witnesses if you do that. And so
See?
that's a matter of what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Look, whatever you do in your house is your business. But if you want to bring it out in the open and, use the garden hose and some Palmolive to clean it, you're letting everyone in on the secret. So just keep that in mind.
Just make sure you rinse it off.
And
whole
dry it
thing-
off.
Yeah, the whole thing
Gotta
sounds
dry it
awkward.
off too.
You definitely have to dry it off. You don't want that to mildew.
No, imagine how that would smell.
and mold.
Didn't you catch something?
Oh, you catch a lot of things.
Catch STD from your sex bot?
Well, how?
Imagine explaining that to your wife. What had happened was
We're starting 2025 off.
right where we
Real
left off. It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And when we come back, we'll tell you we got some great news. Great news for 2025. Moderate alcohol consumption is now, quote unquote, okay. So go ahead and get your drink on until the next study, which comes out and says that moderate drinking is not okay.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
I know the information conflicts. I know. Seems like every year we're told something different. Back in 2022, the World Health Organization said, quote, when it comes to alcohol consumption, there is no safe amount that does not affect health. Close quote. The World Health Organization, 2022. In 2023, the Washington Post said, quote, moderate drinking isn't good for your health. That was in 2023, citing the Journal of the American Medical Association. Now, there's a new report reviewing evidence on moderate alcohol consumption. I had 6 shots of Jack for New Year's Eve. That's not considered moderate. That's on the other side of moderate. But I only do that like once or twice a year. And I don't think I can do that anymore. I think I'm down to once a year. I might be done drinking, Mark, by the age of 58. I think I'm done.
Don't do it. Think about what you're saying.
I got 3 years to work it out on my timetable. But I don't have much more left in me.
You're disappointing me and the ghost of Charles Bukowski.
I can't let him down.
No, we believe in you.
And I'm not a quitter.
Nobody likes a quitter.
According to this new report, moderate drinking is associated with some health benefits. And this is from the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. They're saying, the Washington Post and others are wrong when it comes to moderate drinking. The report concluded with moderate certainty that compared with never consuming alcohol, try January, moderate alcohol consumption is associated with lower all-cause mortality. All-cause mortality is a measure of the total number of deaths from any cause in a specific group of people over a specific period of time. In this case, the mortality rates derive from a comparison between teetotalers and moderate drinkers. In addition, the report found that compared with never consuming alcohol, consuming moderate amounts of alcohol is associated with a quote-unquote lower risk of cardiovascular mortality in both men and women. Some evidence, however, suggests that moderate consumption is associated with a higher risk of female breast cancer. So less damage to men, possibly more to women. And I'm quite sure we will go back and forth about what is considered moderate.
I can give you one more example. My access to alcohol has directly saved the lives of numerous editors over the years.
I will say this, and it's along the lines of you. When I drink, I'm not an angry drunk. I'm more inclined to walk away from a conflict when I'm under the influence, because I'm one of those, hey, love is love, everyone. Let's just everybody get along.
I don't think we've ever gotten genuinely drunk together. We've had some drinks together.
No, we haven't.
But not like sloppy drunk.
If only because we're usually just off of work after a long day.
Yeah, because Mo's got to work.
Yeah.
Well, also driving in L.A. when you've been drinking is hellish, and you don't want to take a chance with that.
Right. All those reasons. So, I guess you're just going to have to come over to my house for the 4th of July where we really start to drink after the show's over.
And you'll have a proper guest room made up for me.
Yes, we would. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
That's more like
yes.
it. Okay, then.
To all of it, we tell people all the time, look, if you're not going to drive, we got space for you. We got space.
Not a tent in the backyard.
No. It'd probably be like a corner.
Chateau Lemo?
Chateau Lemo.
There's plenty of space.
Yeah, it's French. It's a chateau.
Chateau.
Chateau Lemo. Moderate alcohol consumption. It doesn't say what moderate is. It may be like, I don't know, 2 drinks or something.
I'm going to live forever. That's all I know.
I have, though, to be completely serious, I have moderated my drinking with each successive year. Like, I'm not the one who's just going to sit at home and drink. I'm just not. That's just me. Because I got too much stuff to do and I need to be clear-headed and I don't want to be, not hungover, but just like sluggish in the morning. I need to be clear-headed.
Oh, I see.
And, I've been on this like healthy kick as far as losing weight, bringing down my blood pressure and cholesterol because.
Oh, yeah. You're like kicking carbs, kicking sodium.
Yeah. I'm on the wrong side of 50. Okay. It's a reality. It's an unfortunate reality. And I do talk about men's health. So it's something I'm more conscious of. We don't have pizza in the studio every single week.
Nope.
But when we do, I'm going to eat some pizza. Look, you talk about moderate alcohol consumption. I'm talking about moderate consumption overall.
And not for everyone, but like for you especially, you do the Hapkido. Like you got to keep up with, with all the kids coming in.
Not only that, my regimen is I stretch every day. Now, it may not be dynamic stretching. What I mean by dynamic stretching is when you're sitting down on the floor and you're trying to stretch to increase flexibility. I'm just like stretching where I'll do my lunges and my hip stretches. So I just
kind of warm up your muscles type of thing. Yeah.
So I'm not tight because when you're in radio, you're sitting a lot. So there are times where I'll stand up and I'll stretch where I am against the wall, things like that. But I am also trying to better my diet on a daily basis, with every meal being conscious of what I put in my body. So when I do have a New Year's Eve party and I want to tear one off,
you're set.
Look, there's no guilt. No guilt. Everything is just fine. And I just let her rip, much to my wife's chagrin.
Does your wife not drink?
No, she drinks. She drinks. She's not a heavy drinker.
What's her choice?
It's Bombay gin and like cranberry, something like that.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
that's but she has like a tall bottle of Bombay at home. But it's usually that. It's gin and juice of some sort. That's her weapon of choice. But she's not a heavy drinker. She'll get 1 or 2 drinks and then after that, look, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Lamu here, when she drinks, she gets really, really obnoxious. So I try not to let her have too many. She does. She's not self-aware.
I will say this. She was the sweetest person ever at the Conway event when you were there, I think a year ago.
Yeah. And she was drinking that night.
Yeah. She
had
was
a few that night.
Huh?
She had a few that night. Yes, she did.
Yeah. But she's like the kindest person. But but then again, I don't go home with her. That's you. So I guess
it's not going home with her. It's being married to her. It's just different.
Well, when you've got 2 different types of drinkers in a relationship, that can affect it.
It can, but we don't get in each other's way in the sense of like, if I'm going to drink, she's not going to look at me like, you're having a drink again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, acceptance is the most beautiful thing in any relationship.
So annoying.
Oh yeah.
I could tell that the long suffering one genuinely loved me when she gave me once, instead of complaining, nagging about my drinking, she gave me one of those leather portable bar kits. It was like, here you go, buddy.
Oh, my wife too. She gave me a big I'll say a vat of Japanese whiskey for my birthday. That's love.
Yeah, don't scold. Encourage it.
That's love.
Encourage it. That is love.
And it's not like I'm sipping out of it every night. I'm just saying it's just for special occasions.
But that is love.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Well,
no more.
We'll see what happens on the other side of 2025 for me.
Yeah. I did dry January 1 year. It's not that hard. It's cool and everything. And then it's like, okay. But
what's next?
Yeah. So, yeah. And I like experimenting with things. There was a week where I want to think 4 days of a fast, only drinking water. This was like 2010. The most miserable 4 days of my life.
Why would you do that?
Just to see if I could do it, see how much weight I would lose.
You finishing that sentence, and I was just like, oh, God, that sounds miserable.
Oh, it was miserable.
Do you think you're David Blaine? What is the point?
Look, it was a dare in the office. We had 3 people who would say, let's see if we can go one day. And it turned into 2 days. And it was the honor system. It turned into 3 days. And I remember the first meal I had was somebody's birthday in the office. I said, F it. I'm eating all the cake. All the cake. And I lost I want to say maybe 9-10 pounds over those 4 days. But it's you gain it back immediately because you're not actually losing weight.
Yeah, because you're
just depriving yourself.
You're craving what you didn't have.
And I ate like a fool as soon as we started eating again.
I had no idea that you were that susceptible to peer pressure, and I plan to exploit that in the new year.
All right, then. Cheers to 2025. It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You think we've got all the answers? Well, we've got news for you, Chief. No, seriously, we've got news right now.
KFI
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live.